first question we have is from Jerome. Jerome asks, how do you get motivated for difficult tasks?
How do you do it, JR?
How do I do it? Yeah. I have, it's a mentality of kind of hating yourself a little bit. It's just like I have to do it kind of thing. It happens a lot with editing videos. I really like editing video, but I hate the first 5 minutes prior to editing video and the first 5 minutes into editing, which is just kind of like, there's this hill that you got to get over. And then after that, like once I'm in the zone, then it's all just like downhill after that. And it goes super fast, but it's that like just initial start. Yeah. So for me, it's like, I know if I can just get through the first 5 minutes, the rest will take care of itself.
Yeah.
Interesting. So you're chunking it down.
Yeah, I can relate to that. Have you guys ever been cliff jumping? I know you have.
Yeah.
So the worst thing you can do when you're cliff jumping is go out to the edge and then just stare down. Right? Because you're going to literally pause and you're going to talk yourself out. What the fuck am I doing? Is there a log down there? Like, you're going to hesitate and then you're not going to take action.
But I mean, you should hesitate if you're wondering if there's a log down there.
Have somebody check the water, be safe, obviously, right? But to me, like, if I'm jumping off of something high, I'm just sending it, because if I don't get going and just jump, I will literally stand there and talk myself out of it. And so I relate that to just taking massive action. I feel like if there's a big daunting task or something I don't want to do, for me, if I can take that first step, if I can jump and just get started, to your point, that momentum then builds, because the hardest thing to do is to start. It's not going to be perfect, whatever it is, but if you can start and then just carry that momentum when you realize, I think that first step is the hardest thing to do. And then once you have that momentum, it's easier to see it through and finish it. So for me, if there's something daunting or challenging, I just try to commit right away and not allow time, because then you're going to fucking talk yourself out of it. You're going to find a million different excuses. So like whatever the biggest task is at hand, I like to do things first thing, and like to start my day on the hardest thing, so I know that's done, and then everything else is kind of downhill from there. So yeah, that's kind of how I approach it.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm trying to figure out, okay, why do I need to do this? Like, what is the intention behind it? If it's something small, like I have to sit down and I have to write out an email campaign, and I'm like, fuck. To your point of like that first 5 minutes, like I don't know where to start. This is like a big project, da 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 da. Okay, well, what is the end result? And like, why do I really need to do this? So on that level, and then I convince myself of the end result. So I get more associated to what the outcome of the action is going to be versus just focusing on the action itself, if that makes sense. And this is like a very stupid, silly example, but I do the ice bath every morning, and I'll find myself procrastinating, like, oh, let me do the dishes real fast. I'm like, there's fucking one dish in the sink and it's 4 a.m. Why do I don't need to do dishes right now. But I just like, my brain will be like, oh, you should do this. Or, oh, like go, like your bed's not made or whatever. Like I find myself naturally distracting myself away from the thing that I don't want to do. And I think all of us experience that at some point in time. Something comes up, we unintentionally, but kind of intentionally are distracting ourselves. And then I'll just be like, okay, you're 3 minutes and you're done. 5 minutes and you're done. On the other side of this, you're going to feel great. So I'm always focusing on the experience or the way that I'm going to feel after it, rather than the feeling of not wanting to start. And then, okay, once I'm done with it, then, you know what I mean? And so I just jump right into it.
I totally relate to that, putting other things ahead of it, because it's just like a lot of people. This is why I don't think I have ADD, because they say that's an ADD activity where you do a bunch of different activities along the way to do the thing that you're wanting to do, but you're using distraction. I know that I'm distracting myself by like doing the dishes, or I got to take my dogs out to use the bathroom, or like just because I don't want to do this like
difficult thing.
I don't want to do the
totally
difficult
natural
thing.
Yeah, it's interesting too, because like for me using this example of the ice bath, like when I'm out of the bath, I'm so cold. Like I don't want to have to like brush my teeth or do anything. I just want to get like dried off, get like rinse off, and then go straight out the door. So I'm like, okay, did I pack my clothes for the gym? Did I brush my teeth? Like I literally have a checklist, and I'm like trying to run through them in my head, because I want that to be the last thing I do before I leave. Yep. And then that's where I get like, oh, well, did I? And I'm kind of like, and then I'm finally like, bro, just go fucking do it. Like, and I think we have to have that kind of awareness to understand when we're distracting ourselves from the task at hand. But I think for me, the best way to approach a difficult task is to just focus on why you must do it, and then just get started.
Those were all great answers. Yeah, Jerome.
Yeah.
Thanks, brother.